Hey, my love, I'm recording again. Yeah, I know I'm sick, right? But I need to say, we need to find us some real men because all the dudes that we mess with are either ugly, nasty, annoying, little ass boys who can't even hold down a relationship. So what I think we need to do is we need to go to Boston, right? We need to find some sexy ass dudes and then bring them to New York and just kill them all because we have nothing better to do with our lives. So, on that note, I'm gonna go watch that video you're sending me. I'ma holla at you. Alright, my nigga? Yo, actually, matter of fact, you know when you get calls from somebody that you don't like and you don't want to answer it? Really annoying. Yeah, I don't even know what I'm doing right now. Oh well, whatever. Bye!